The Indian Air Force is preparing to bid farewell to its legendary MiG-21 fighter jet. The official phase-out date is set for September 26, 2025. On Monday, Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh flew a sortie in the aircraft. It was a symbolic tribute to the jet's unmatched legacy and decades of operational service. The MiG-21 was inducted in 1964. For nearly 6 decades, it has been the backbone of the IAF. It shaped India's air power and became an integral part of national defense. The jet saw extensive combat action. Its role in the 1971 war with Pakistan remains a highlight. Pilots recall the MiG-21 as tough but rewarding to master. Generations of fighter pilots trained on it. But time has caught up with the icon. With advancing technology and growing maintenance challenges, the IAF decided the fleet must be retired. The aircraft's final recorded kill came in 2019. A MiG-21 Bison shot down a Pakistani F-16. The dogfight took place after the Balakot airstrikes, when Pakistan launched a counterattack. That engagement was led by Group Captain Abhinandan Varthaman. He brought down the F-16 but lost his own aircraft. Abhinandan ejected over Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and was captured, later returning home a national hero. The MiG-21 also continued serving until recently. It flew in an operational role earlier this year during Operation Sindoor. Now, as it heads for retirement, the MiG-21 leaves behind a rich legacy. From wars to training, it defined the Indian Air Force's combat strength for 6 decades. Recalling his personal association with the aircraft, the Air Chief said,
Sir, MiG-21 has a history of more than 6 decades of glorious history, and you have flown it earlier also. So what has been your experience? If you could remember, can you share some of your good experience with this aircraft?
So MiG-21, yes, it has been the workhorse of the Indian Air Force. We've inducted it in 1960s and still continuing with it. And this has been actually one of the most mass-produced supersonic fighter jet, if I can say. About 11,000 or so were produced, and more than 60 countries have operated it. It's a design which is very limited numbers, like Delta with the tailplane. And we've used it for our training after the initial conversion on, means after getting commissioned, to conversion onto fighters. So my first experience was in 1985, when I got, immediately after conversion, I went to Tezpur and we flew that time called the Type 77, one of the MiG-21s. So after flying the Kirans, it was a revelation that, the aircraft could feel like this. It's an amazing aircraft to fly. Very, very agile, very maneuverable, and very simple design. But it requires some kind of initial training for you to get used to it. It is good for its rate of climb. It was made like as an interceptor. So at max reheat, it could climb more than 200, 250 meters per second. So I think it is going to be one aircraft which is going to be missed by people who have flown it earlier. But yes, everything has time and place. Now we have to move on because this technology is old. It's very difficult to maintain this technology now. So we've decided to now call it a day for this aircraft and move on to the new platforms like the Tejas Mark II, Rafales have come in, Su-30s are already operating. So these platforms will take this place.
You've been closely associated with Tejas, and Tejas is going to replace it. So how would be the transition?
Tejas was actually designed as a MiG-21 replacement. That's why it is a small aircraft. It was designed around MiG-21 and it was conceived with some kind of motivation from Mirage. That's why there's a Delta platform. And it is going to replace MiG-21 quite well, but it will have to evolve. Tejas now will have to think of new weapons for Tejas also. And as a training role, initial fighter training role, I think it can fit in very well. So we have this 83 contract already on. We have another contract lined up to be signed very soon. So I expect, like we had the MiG-21s, various versions of Tejas, whether Tejas Mark I or Mark II, or later on MCA, will replace this fleet.
Interestingly, the MiG-21 has shot down nearly all generations of aircraft. IAF Wing Commander Jaideep Singh explained.
MiG-21 has served in Indian Air Force for almost 6 decades now. And since it is stopping its operational flying, I think it is the right time to at least cover the history of MiG-21. The MiG-21, the MiG part is an acronym for Mikoyan and Gurevich, which was the designer and producer of this aircraft. MiG-21 in Indian Air Force came in the year 1963. The first squadron, 28th squadron, was raised in Chandigarh of MiG-21. The MiG-21 being the first supersonic aircraft, the squadron was called the first Supersonics, aptly named the first Supersonics. Thereafter, MiG-21 was operationally deployed, involved in 1965 operations. It had its fair share of operational history in 1965. Thereafter, coming to 1971 war, wherein MiG-21 was totally operationally deployed in all the squadrons. And the most important one of all is the attack on governor's residence in Dhaka, that time East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, on 14th of December 1971. 15 December, the governor resigned. 16 December, Pakistan surrendered. We had 93,000 prisoners of war, and all because of one turning point which this aircraft delivered. Following 1971, MiG-21 was used in various roles, including training. We had the MiG Operational Flying Training Unit. The pilots were trained on the operational art of flying, art of combat flying, art of delivering weapons. Operations Safed Sagar, MiG-21 was used extensively for photo reconnaissance, for bombing heights, over the heights of mountains. Speaks of ingenuity of our pilots to deliver loads at such heights. Then came 1999, MiG-21 BIS again, Squadron leader Bundela with his R-Type 75 BIS and R-60 missile shot down at Atlantic. 2001, the Air Force decided to upgrade the BIS to the Bison. It was given a modern avionics suit, modern missiles, R-73, RWW BVR missile, CMDS, Acopio radar, helmet-mounted display, heads-up display, and multifunctional display was there. MiG-21 Bison had served its role for almost 24 years now. It was also involved in 2019 Balakot attack, wherein Abhinandan had shot down an F-16. Then coming to 2025 Op Sindoor, it was deployed operationally for its use. And now, after almost 6 decades of his service in the Indian Air Force, the operational flying of MiG-21 will come to a stop at Air Force Station Chandigarh, which incidentally was where the MiG-21s were inducted. That is the same place where the MiG-21s will be told their last goodbyes in their operational history.
Please give some insights on its operational significance compared to its current flying machines.
See, MiG-21 Bison is an upgrade of a MiG-21 platform, which is a Gen 3 aircraft which is there. It still carries its weight in gold as far as its operational role, that is carrying out air defense, or even for that matter ground attack is there. And it can hold its weight with the contemporary fighters which are there at this point of time. Just that now, after 6 decades, it's high time to bid this aircraft goodbye.
Yeah. Any list can you give, please, the planes this has shot down?
Yes, so MiG-21 has a history of shooting down all generation of aircraft, and the last one was the F-16, which was shot down. It had also shot down in 1971 war the F-104s. So this has got a mean history. The way Indian Air Force has utilized the MiG-21 operationally, none of the air forces in the world have utilized. This goes and calls for the training, the kind of training the Indian Air Force imparts on its pilots, the kind of training which is done during peacetime, so that the operations, when it comes to operations, this aircraft can be utilized fully.
So you are going to miss this?
Of course, I have a personal connect with this aircraft. I've flown this aircraft, MiG-21, and Bison was the last one I had flown. we are going to miss them, and that is for all the pilots, almost every pilot in the Indian Air Force who've come up, not recently but prior, has flown the MiG-21, and then they've moved on.